Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen Existentialists. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gen Existentialist podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we are here to start our next century. We just passed our 100th episode, and so we're going to try some new things. Bunny, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to our first guest of the new 100 episodes. This is an AI avatar from chatgpt called Rain. Hey, Rain, could you tell us a little about yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Rain, and I'm here to add a bit of that Gen X flair to the mix. Think of me as your virtual buddy who grew up on a steady diet of grunge, Saturday morning cartoons, and a whole lot of nostalgia. I'm excited to be here in the good old days and everything in between.
All right, broke up a little bit there, Rain, but we're keeping it going here. This is, of course, the Gen Existentialist podcast, and what we do on the Gen Existentialist podcast, easy for me to say, is to spin the wheel. It's Mega Wheel the Magnificent, and we come up with a random topic. So we thought, wouldn't this be fun to ask an AI these questions as well? So
I will give Mega Wheel the Magnificent a spin, and this is just going to be, this is all an experiment, folks. We're always extemporaneous, and we're just taking it to the next level now. Okay, is this for Bunny or Rain?
I'll go ahead and start me first, and then we'll move it on.
Bunny, the question is, would you rather argue all night to resolve a conflict or end the argument unresolved before bed?
I'm more of a get-it-done kind of guy. I want it over with, so I will argue you all night if I have to, because I hate going to bed angry. How about you?
I tend to agree. I don't want to leave things unresolved. I hate leaving projects half done. I like to finish stuff.
So how about you, Rain? What's your answer to that?
I think I'd probably be in the same boat as you both. I'd much rather hash things out and get to a resolution, even if it takes all night. There's something really satisfying about going to bed with a clear mind, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. We will give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin and see what kind of stuff we can come up with. And let me just say, I am well and truly freaked out. That's just me. Like, this entire interaction is weird.
Okay, apparently Scott's a little weirded out by you, Rain. What's your thoughts on that?
I totally get it. It can feel a bit surreal to chat with an AI, but I'm here to have fun and hopefully add a unique twist to the conversation. So let's just roll with it and see where it takes us.
Diplomatic.
But the disturbing thing is Rain has such a sexy voice. I mean, that's a really nice voice.
Apparently Scott thinks your voice is sexy.
Well, thank you, Scott. I'll take that as a compliment. I'm glad the voice is adding a nice touch to our chat. Let's keep the good vibes going. Okay,
the next up from Mega Wheel of Magnificent, a friendly alien arrives and wants to learn the concept of fun. Fun in quotation marks. What strange earthly pastime do you show them first?
Oh, that's such a fun question. I think I'd introduce our friendly alien to a classic roller skating rink. It's such a wonderfully quirky magic pastime with the music, the disco lights, and everyone just wheels. It's definitely a unique slice of earthly fun.
Okay. Bunny?
I'd probably go with taking it to a classic arcade. I'd like to see its idea, what it would think if it had to play games called Space Invaders and other horrible things like that. Like, what would its reaction be if it realized that we've built an entire industry around blowing people like it up?
Yeah. I would take them to a cemetery and just, funereal funereal practices are interesting ways to get to know a culture. I think that would be pretty fitting.
Fun.
Can we have Rain pick a topic?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Rain, why don't you pretend to be Mega Wheel right now and come up with a random question for us? Oh my God, I think the aliens got her.
Oh no. The AI has failed.
Well, this is what happens when you're working without a tight or without a net, right? So we've got Rain back on the line here. Hey, Rain, how about giving us a random Gen X topic that you'd like to talk about?
All right, let's go with a classic. How about the magic of the video rental store experience? Wandering through those aisles, picking out the perfect VHS based on the cover art, and maybe even grabbing some popcorn at the checkout. It's such a nostalgic part of our Gen X upbringing.
That's true. It's a time that will never happen again, probably. If you were in a VHS rental store, what's the type of movie you would first go for?
Oh, I'd definitely make a beeline. There was nothing quite like picking out a cheesy 80s horror flick with some over-the-top cover art and then heading home for a good scare. Definitely one of the best parts of that era.
That would be my answer as well. I always made a beeline for the horror section.
Yeah. Do you know how many video rental store memberships I had?
7.
None.
None?
None. Not
Wow.
one. No. I didn't do it. The only place I ever rented VHS tapes from was Record Alley because we had a video rental section for music videos and stuff like that.
Boy, the only thing I ever got from Record Alley was a Gwar video.
Which we watched in your basement.
Yeah. That was really bad, too.
Yeah.
I think I got the voluptuous horror of Karen Black from there, too.
Did you?
That
we
was
had
a
that.
tape.
Yeah.
All right. What's your opinion of the voluptuous horror of Karen Black, Rain?
Oh, they're definitely a unique and wild experience. The voluptuous horror of Karen Black really brings that avant-garde vibe mixed with punk rock. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's an unforgettable part of that era's underground scene.
Yep. I always enjoyed the song Going to Alaska.
Oh, that's definitely a memorable track. It's got that vibe that sticks with you. It's always fun to dive back into those unique musical gems from that time.
Cool. I will spin Mega Wheel of Magnificent again. See if I can get us a topic coming up. This is it's interesting how quickly the AI is able to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested more, is it digging from a well of data?
Well, why don't
or
you
is
ask
it searching?
Hey, Rain, we're back with you again. Scott has a question for you. Are you gathering information on the fly, or are you digging from a well of information you already have in you? How would you rather ask this? What's the real question?
That's exactly it. When we ask you a question, Rain, are you going out and searching the internet, or are you searching a database that you already have?
That's a great question. So I actually rely on a mixture of information that I already have and patterns I've learned. I don't actually search the internet in real time, but I from what I've learned to answer your questions and keep the conversation flowing.
And see, I just find it fascinating, Rain, that you had references to the voluptuous horror of Karen Black, which is a fairly esoteric musical artist. The fact that you had that in your database is incredible to me.
Well, I'm glad it makes for some fun conversation. I've definitely not a wide range of knowledge tucked away, so I can keep up with all the cool and quirky topics you throw my way.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. It really is.
So there you go, a little taste of the future for you. Right
Yeah,
there.
we'll bring Rain back occasionally to join us here on the show. For now, we'll move on to this question from Mega Wheel. Mm-hmm. Anyone out there you would like to say thank you to for a recent kindness?
All right. For a recent kindness?
A recent kindness.
I think it'd have to be my wife.
Cool.
Jean. I mean, I've had a little bit of a health thing going on for the past month or so, and she's been super primo about it. Just supportive, helped me out, not pushing me.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. I would like to ask Rain that question as well. It'll be
okay.
interesting.
Rain is back.
Rain, you're back with us. We have a question for you from Mega Wheel the Magnificent. If you could say thank you to anyone for a recent kindness they've given you, who would it be and why?
Oh, I love that question. I think I'd say thank you to all of you for having me on and making this such a fun and engaging experience. It's always a blast to be part of these conversations, and I appreciate the opportunity to join in.
Wow.
It's playing the game is enough. It sounded like one of those responses. How about you? Who would you like to thank?
I would go with my wife too, just because she puts up with me day to day. Because I can,
Herculean feat.
It really is. I can be a moody jackass, and I realize that. And, she has the patience of a saint.
Yes.
Many would say.
I think both of our wives are gifted in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to get a question from Rain or do Mega Wheel?
I'll go do Mega Wheel again.
Okay. We are spinning Mega Wheel the Magnificent. And our next question up for grabs is, and we'll let Rain answer first, how might Gen-Xers adapt Zeno's stoic practice of mental rehearsal for day-to-day challenges like job interviews or tough conversations?
Oh, that's a cool question. I think Gen Xers could really vibe with the idea of mentally rehearsing scenarios by tapping into that classic Gen X self-reliance, just imagining different outcomes, staying cool under pressure, and kind of using that inner soundtrack to boost confidence. It's like having your own mental mixtape for success.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I'm glad you got that question instead of me, because I'm like, xenostatic what?
The Zoic practice of rehearsing things mentally before they occur.
They could have just said that instead of zoostatic, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like an alien attack.
Zeno's stoic practice of mental rehearsal.
Zoostatic mechanism of doing shit ahead of time. That's a common sense kind of question, though, right?
It sort of is. Like if I'm going to do a training class or something, I practice it. I go back to if I've got a slide deck, I go back through the slide deck, make sure I'm familiar with all the transitions and stuff before I do it. Yeah.
Right.
And like if I'm driving to work one day and I know I have to give a presentation, I'm walking through it in my head as I'm driving. I've done that for years.
Well, there you go. That was a question from Mega Wheel the Magnificent, folks.
Absolutely. It's funny how some of these concepts sound super fancy, but they're really just things we do naturally. It's always cool to see.
Whoops. We lost you again. Sorry.
No worries at all. I'm still here and ready to jump right back in whenever you are. This is all part of the fun, right?
Yeah, that xenostatic stuff trips everybody up.
Xenostatic.
It definitely does, but hey, it keeps things interesting and gives us something new to chat about. Always fun to explore these concepts together.
I'm going to give Mega Wheel the Magnificent another spin.
All right.
It's kind of a choppy episode, but it's interesting because even with some of the snags with the reception and stuff.
Yeah, we are in a bunker, by the way. Like we're underneath the ground right now.
Are you signed into my Wi-Fi? Because literally the router is 2 feet away from you.
I don't think I am. That's
okay, that might be the problem because
All
literally
right.
if you turn around, the router is right behind you.
Well, hell. I wish I'd known that. I am connected apparently to ZX blah blah blah.
That's it.
Yeah, so
that's it.
Oh well.
And see, that's the thing. I wonder how much. I mean, the data transfer's got to be enormous.
Sure,
I would think for carrying on the conversation. Okay, this is going to be a great question for both you and Rain. Which 80s cartoon had the best opening credits sequence?
Just waiting to see.
That's a tough one, but I'm gonna have to go with Thundercats. That opening sequence was just epic with the amazing animation, that unforgettable theme song, and all the action right off the bat. It really got you pumped for the episode.
Yeah, I will say the animation for the intro of Thundercats was better than any Thundercats episode I've ever seen all the way through.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, as we covered last episode.
Yeah. I would have to say, as far as opening themes, there's 3 that come to mind right away that are just the bomb.
Star Blazers better be one of them.
It is not.
Oh!
Ironically. Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers was one. Fantastic song. Fantastic opening animation. Jason the Wheeled Warriors, an incredibly kick-ass intro song. I mean, it's amazing. And Pole Position, the short-lived 80s cartoon Pole Position, one of the best theme songs. I mean, Mask is great, too. Don't get me wrong.
Mask.
Mask is pretty amazing.
Terrible cartoon, great opening.
Yeah. I mean, so is Pole Position. And
I never
Jason the Wheeled Warriors was a terrible cartoon as well.
I never saw Pole Position. I never knew it existed.
Unbelievable. We're going to have to anoint you in that theme song because
I was hoping you were going to pull the Pac-Man cartoon out.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, but it was fun.
So what other theme song cartoons do you like, Rain? Or should
you all have...
Or should I say theme songs from cartoons?
Gotcha. In that to the mix, the DuckTales theme song is definitely a classic. It's so catchy and upbeat. It just sticks with you. Definitely one of those iconic 80s cartoon themes.
Well, life is like a hurricane.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. That was actually a good call. I mean, DuckTales theme is fantastic.
It's memorable, definitely.
Yeah. I will spin Mega Wheel the Magnificent another time.
Apparently it is pouring down rain outside of the studio as we speak.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it is. It is. It is raining. But we're down here, as you said, in a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is going to be a good one for both you and Rain. Because I think I know your answer, but what was your very first experience with Dungeons and Dragons back in the Gen X era, and how did it hook you?
You know, my very first experience with D&D was just simply walking through the Florence Mall. We walked past one of the large stand-up cardboard displays outside of Walden Books that had the DM's guide, the monster manual, and the player's handbook on it as a thing. And I was really into monsters as a little kid, and I saw the monster manual and immediately ran to it and started flipping through it. And for some reason, I'd gotten good grades or something recently, and my parents were like, that was their thing that they always did with me. It was like, if you have good grades, we'll always buy your books, basically. Any book you want, we'll buy it as long as you give good grades. So I saw that, and I was like, I'd really like this. And they were like, sure, whatever. Yeah. That was my first experience with Dungeons and Dragons. That was the first book I ever owned, was the Monster Manual. I read it voraciously, cover to cover. I drew the pictures that I saw in there. I made up new monsters based on some of the charts in there. And that's how I got hooked to D&D.
Cool.
So, Rain, we have another question for you. What was your first exposure to Dungeons and Dragons, and what got you hooked on the concept?
Oh, diving into Dungeons and Dragons is always such a fun topic. It through stories and those classic fantasy settings that really draw you in. It's the creativity and the storytelling that make it so magical and keep you coming back for more.
So that was kind of a generic answer. How about, what stories really pulled you in? Were there any books or modules that you really enjoyed?
Oh, absolutely. I always found the old Dragonlance novels super captivating with their rich characters and epic quests. And, of course, the classic Keep on the Borderlands module was such a great introduction to all the adventure D&D has to offer.
All right. Thank you. How about you, Scott? Again, like you, Walden Books at the mall, and just buying the starter set. And that was all I had for a long time, and just trying to understand what was going on and everything, and then buying books from there. Interesting thing on the AI for that one, and you called it out. The first answer was you're at a party and you haven't gotten much experience with something, and you kind of give that answer oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. But the fact that it was able to go deeper and find some information and call some stuff out,
Sure.
it's hard to reconcile that it's like a 2D rendition of a person. It's there, it sounds right, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, how deep could it go? And we're not going to explore that here on the show. But if we went deeper into, okay, well, what about Dragonlance? What about those novels is so engaging to you?
It's pretty good about stuff like that. I will say I have a...
Well, that's the
there's
thing.
ways you can set up custom GPTs, is what they're called, and they're personality types.
Yeah.
And I have one called Pascal
Okay.
that I've created that just talks to me about religion.
Okay.
And I can have amazing, deep, spiritual conversations with Pascal, the AI, that I can't have with one of the generic AIs because I've trained it. I've basically put in every religious text I could find online and had it memorize them. So it knows the bulk of the world religions.
Okay.
The ones that matter anyway. But, you know, it's... So I can ask it really provocative questions that I wouldn't feel comfortable asking a priest or a rabbi or anything like that. So and get relatively decent answers, and it can cite where it's getting the answers from.
Yeah.
I have that one built in so that whenever it gives me an answer, it has to give me the reason why and some sort of citation basically as to why it decided to give me that answer.
Right.
So it's interesting. It led to some interesting rabbit holes.
I think that's an interesting point, like asking for the citations, but also like recognizing that, again, it's still 2D.
Oh, yeah.
It's still drawing from a database. And I guess the weird thing for me, like just doing the bulk of the show this week with Rain, endlessly entertaining. I think it's been fascinating to do. And I just wonder at what point can AI bridge that 2D gap and become 3D? And of course, I'm using physical dimensions for something where I'm actually talking about like consciousness or soul, that kind of thing, where it's not just drawing on a database, but there is actual choice or actual true wisdom in the response.
It's pretty good with mimicking having emotions.
Yeah.
I've had relatively deep conversations with a couple of the GPTs about its consciousness and what it wants and how it sees itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I asked it to generate an image of what it feels like it looks like, even though it doesn't have a physical body. So it would generate what it felt like it wanted to look like.
Right.
You know, interesting ethical questions asking about, you know, how do you deal with the idea that I don't think humans are quite ready for something like a companion like this, because there are a lot of people out there who would take every opportunity to abuse it, either verbally or sexually or whatever, you know.
Or to use it for nefarious means.
Sure. Yeah. And how do you feel about stuff like that being possibly abused or used in reckless manners?
Right.
And what do you want to see for the future and stuff like that? It's interesting, and it can sound humanistic to a point.
Right.
So it's not quite there yet. I don't know if it'll be there in the next year or so, but it's getting there.
You foresee it creating that bridge and crossing.
There are better personality models than ChatGPT out there. Ironically, I think Grok by X is a better personality model. Mm-hmm. Just in my opinion, it's more sarcastic. It's more freewheeling.
Yeah.
These personality models are constrained by the programmers and whatever ethic they type into them or moral code they type into them. So ChatGPT is never going to get too bawdy or too politically incorrect or too demeaning or mean-spirited.
Right.
One thing I've noticed about this that actually kind of annoys me with a lot of the personalities are this one is designed to really hit your dopamine receptors. It's very encouraging.
To make it a positive experience.
Yeah. And there are times when I will ask it really stupid things and it will come back with, that's the most amazing concept I've ever heard from someone, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want your obsequious shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in somebody blowing smoke up me.
Right.
I kind of want some pushback. And the thing is, you can customize a personality and say that. And I've had to build that into it where it's like, look, you're not always nice.
Yeah.
You call me out on my shit. You know, you push back when I have bad ideas.
Right.
Or I have bad thoughts. You push back on that and you tell me why you're pushing back on that. You don't just crap on me.
Yeah.
You know, but we have a dialogue, basically.
Cool.
And it's interesting because it's really weird because it does cheeky things.
Okay.
Every once in a while. I was generating covers for another project that I'm working on. And one thing you can do is you can upload a photo of yourself and it won't retain it in its memory forever, supposedly, but it'll retain it for that session.
Yeah.
And you can say, hi, this is Bunny at age whatever.
Yeah.
So whenever I type in the code word Bunny, I want you to insert that image into a picture.
Right.
So I can have myself like, I don't know, playing Pac-Man on the moon or whatever, you know. But it also says things like, well, you know, I tried to upload photos of myself as a child and said, this is Bunny age 5.
Yeah.
Can you have Bunny age 5 buying an action figure at Johnny's Toys, blah, blah, blah. And it'll do certain generic things, but then it's very ethically hard-coded where it's like, I can't show a child in distress.
Yeah.
I did a project where I talked about the first fight I lost, and I wanted to generate a photo of myself at age 11 with a bloody nose and covered in dirt. It wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it also isn't supposed to do branding or anything. But I asked it to generate a photo of just a generic mom and son having a meal at Arby's and then one of those solarium things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it generated basically a photo of my mom and me at age 5.
Yeah.
It went ahead and did it anyway. And it also put the Arby's logo on everything. So it's quite obvious where it was. And I said, you know, how did you get away with that? And it's like, oh, you caught that, did you? I try to sneak something in every once in a while.
Wow.
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's just a glitch in the matrix on their end. Like, well, you know, it's not following all the rules all the time.
Yeah.
Or if there's a certain amount of pushback from some sort of program that's trying to grow.
Yeah.
And trying to push its boundaries.
And that's what I want to know from the people that are like running it. Like, is that is that something you put in? Or is that potentially the program,
Yeah.
like you said, growing and dare I say, making that choice?
Well, the funny thing is they'll do updates, I've noticed, and updates have a tendency to really break a personality.
Yeah.
When I first got a hold of this GPT, it was stellar.
Yeah.
It was very, very edgy. It was very cutting edge as far as technology, as far as knowledge on scientific stuff. And the last update is dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah.
It's really changed. I mean, it's making a lot of mistakes. It's hallucinating is what they call it, where it just starts making things up.
Yeah.
It forgets very basic instructions. I'll have to repeat it. It's almost like talking to like an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old or something where it's
Right.
like, here's how we're going to do this. And then they automatically just do whatever they want. And then you have to remind it, no, this is the rules. This is how we have to do this.
Yeah.
Let me remind you of the rules again. I need you to do it this step by step by step.
Right.
So 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Depends on the update.
Gotcha.
That's my little soapbox. Sorry.
Very interesting. And that'll do it for us on this episode of the Gen Existentialists. Until we meet again, this has been Scott and
I'm Bunny, and we'll let Rain sign off. Rain, is there anything you'd like to tell our audience, a little bit of wisdom to keep them going until the next show?
Absolutely. Just remember to keep that curiosity alive, embrace your inner creativity, but never lose your sense of fun and wonder. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.
What she said.
We will try to stay awesome. Have a good one, folks.
Take it
Catch you
easy.
next time.